If you are between 18 to 32 years of age, 5 feet 3 inches or taller, and have dreamt of representing India on an international platform through one of the biggest and oldest pageant organizations, then which pageant should you apply for?
It has to be Miss Diva 2026.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Lekh Uthaiah, your Femina Miss India Punjab 2022. I am a model, a pageant coach of ELEKHTRA, and we are currently taking one-on-one sessions, so you can check that out in the description. And if you want to join a WhatsApp community of like-minded people, that is also in the description. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Avani Kakekocchi Bhatt. She is the current reigning Miss Diva Cosmo 2025. And we are very excited to have you on board. How are you feeling today?
Thank you for having me. It's a great honor, Lekh. I'm feeling excited because my journey is way ahead of me. My official training hasn't started. Day has been great. We worked out and had some good food, took some classes, and now we're doing this. My day is always very dynamic and I love it.
I love that. The forms for Miss Diva 2026 are officially open. You had done that last year and it's coming a full circle really soon. This is India's biggest fashion hunt, which gets together beauty queens as well as fashion designers as well as content creators. And I thought, who better to take this interview with than someone who's been there, done that and won that. So Avani, in a nutshell, like if people met you for the first time, what would they not know about you beyond all of this?
I wish I had a shocking answer, but you'd be very disappointed. I think with or without the crown, managing one character itself is a lot of work. So I'm the same person with or without the crown. My pageant sisters and people who are really close to me, like my parents and my brother, my friends, they keep saying that she's literally the same girl except the crown, she just has a messy bun. And I just probably wear lip gloss everywhere I go. Typical pageant girly stuff. That's it.
Yeah, I do feel, and I need to say this, I met Avani for the first time in a gym when I was not expecting, because I did not know we go to the same gym until then. And I think since I've known her before she applied for Miss Diva, you were in the process of it, thinking about it.
Yes, I was.
To now, which has almost been like a year, give or take, you know, from the time she started to now, half a year or more. And she seems like somebody who's just the same, like on camera, off camera. I've seen your interviews and there's no pretense whatsoever.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about modern pageants I like a lot. Authenticity has bigger presence than elegance, which is awesome. I like the shift modern pageants have taken.
Yeah, and I think coming to modern pageants, previously every girl who got into pageantry got in with the idea of getting into modeling and acting because that was their launch pad for it. But you have a very unique story of not necessarily doing it for those reasons. So just tell me a little bit about why did you go into pageants?
Modeling and acting are great careers, but it wasn't my primary dream. To begin with, pageantry wasn't an escape. It was just an extension of a life that I already had, which is entrepreneurship, engineering, dance, teaching, just the multiple things that I do. And pageantry was the one place where I could bring all of that into one single platter. My father is from an agricultural background and he left all the comfort behind to come into a city he wasn't very known to, and he had a lot of failures. It wasn't a fairy tale at all. I've seen him going through multiple rejections, hopes and downfalls, but that taught me one thing about success, that it's not about not falling, it's about never staying down. And that's the biggest lesson that I took. And why did I want to come to pageants? I think I really wanted to represent India. It was a big, big dream for me, and having had the simplicity and the authenticity of a coastal Karnataka background and the modern, ambitious science, technology, engineering, mathematics as well, I knew that I could represent India not just from one angle but from a whole wide spectrum. So I think that was just a perfect place for me to be.
That's so cool. That's so nice to hear. And there's so much clarity for someone who's... How old are you?
I'm 25.
My God. Like that's something that people don't really get up until their late 30s. So clearly, you know, you need to have a sense of maturity to understand why you're getting into pageantry. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I see girls making, not knowing what their end goal is, but really just attracted like a moth to a flame to the limelight and not knowing what do you bring to the table outside of what the organization provides to you.
That's true.
The fact that you have clarity on what you bring and how it could amalgamate into something beautiful, not just for you, but also the organization, is the kind of clarity every girl who's going into pageants today should have.
Definitely.
Tell me something about what excites you the most about representing India in Vietnam when it's finally happening?
Okay. I think I've been receiving a lot of love from Vietnam. I have to mention this. I'll just give you a small example. India does not have TikTok. It's unavailable here. And I have Vietnamese fans who are making TikTok accounts. And I'm viral there. They have like 30K views, 40K views, which is so sweet. They don't have to do it. But that's just one thing about pageants, right? You make connections beyond borders.
Yeah.
So that's that. And I am a big foodie for those of you who don't know. And I'm really excited to try some of the desserts there. I think it's made out of beans and coconut ice cream and in coconut shells. That's how it's served. I'm really not sure of the pronunciation, so I'll just not do that part of it. So I'm excited for that as well. And I'm also excited to roam around in streets, celebrate festivals with people, interact with them, wear their costume, because that's how cultural exchange really happens.
Yeah.
As a delegate, I will be entering Vietnam as a representative of India, but
Yeah.
I know that I will come out with a big white family.
Now, coming to your pageant journey, for the ones who don't know this, Avani has held a lot of titles. This, of course, is something that's finally getting her the closest to her dream, and it aligned with her the best. But I say this to a lot of students that don't just aim for one pageant and go for it, fail, and keep going to the same pageant, because you will never know what experiences lie outside of it.
Very right.
What did you actually learn from the pageant systems that you went into before this?
That's a wide question, but I think I learned that growth isn't fitting into a box. I say this because my first pageant was India's Miss TGPC. It was an online platform, digitally putting yourself out there, and interviews, we had costumes, we had all of that. And then I went on to represent my state at a national pageant, but I didn't make it. I was disappointed, I was destroyed, but I learned that that was one of the biggest moments of my life.
Right.
It really kept me grounded, it kept me humble. And I truly asked, where can I improve? Not with the mindset of insecurity, but because I truly wanted to grow. I knew I had it in me to get there, to represent India. I did work on myself when it came to camera presence, building a personal brand. How can I put myself out there that the organization also appreciates? I did not have this perspective back then. So trying different things really worked for me. And in the end, it's just about putting yourself out there authentically, because they do not want another Sushmita Sen, another Aishwarya Rai. They want to see you. Judges want to see the authentic you, because they've never met you. So that is your biggest recipe, and finding that and aligning that was my biggest challenge. So I did that, and that's precisely why I have this title today.
That is so cool, and I think there's so much to take away from this, because a lot of girls obviously get into pageants because they saw a Manushi Schiller win, they saw a Harnas Sandhu win, and they start to emulate the same kind of personality traits, thinking that's what the organization wants. But when you go behind the scenes, you realize that the organization is looking for a new Avani, a new Lekh. Like, what else do you bring? Because they've already got those girls. They like the way they speak, they love the way they've represented India there. But what else can the new girls of today bring? Because every year brings bigger and better competition. So your journey shouldn't just be walking the best, talking the best, but should also be how can you find yourself so that you can put that across.
Exactly. And I think the one biggest advice that I've gotten is that pageants are not pageants or a beauty hunt anymore. It's a partnership. It's a business partnership. And that changed my perspective forever. This was a couple of months ago before I auditioned for Diva. It's like a relationship or any job interview that you go to. You need the right fit. Both the parties, you and the organization. If you think you fit that particular pageant, go for it. Try, give it your all. And they will like you only if you can market the platform. You know what is happening in the platform and how they are circulating their winners and marketing themselves, because they want a face, they want a character. They just don't want a pretty girl who can walk a ramp. End of the day, you are the reigning queen for a year, and how can you best put the platform out there is what Miss Diva truly sees.
Now you know it, girls. Anyone's who's applying, you know the inner secret that you didn't know now. Okay, we've reached right in the middle of the video. I want to know if you are still watching. I want you to comment Diva so that we know that you are ready for the second half. Coming to recollecting some of those winning moments for you, which I was obviously rooting for because I knew you were going in. So it was very exciting to see, what was going to happen and who they were going to pick, because we could see through performances and make our own decisions also behind the stage, and we wanted to see if we could match what the organization wanted. But what was the one thing that you think, looking back, helped you stand out in that Miss Diva competition, which had some of the 8 most well-spoken, beautiful, talented girls?
100%. I think it was my mindset.
Yeah.
Big time. I say this because I was a wildcard entry, for those of you who don't know. My top 20 was easy. Post that, I knew I had very slim chances because I messed up. So my mom and I literally went to malls around here in Bangalore, begged for people to vote for me. We called up. I'm a little vulnerable here, but I think girls, you should know this because I did not know I was going to win, okay? We called up relatives, asking them to vote for me. Relatives we hadn't spoken to in like 5-6 years. So it was a reconnection too. Yay. And I knew that I wasn't going to naturally win. I had to just appear in my best version every single day. So I followed the rule book. I was vocal about things. I was expressive. So in my previous pageants, I used to shy away. I used to be delicate. I used to try to be someone I'm really not. But in person, I'm a very bold, expressive. I take charge to do things. So I was naturally that person at Miss Diva. And the organization loved that fact about me. I tried interacting with everybody, be it not just the beauty queens, the fashion designers, the content creators. We had lunch together. I took that charge. I took that initiative. And I was always on time. I always looked presentable, even if it's my dinner, my breakfast, everywhere. So I think that was something the organization noticed, and they really liked the fact that I come from multiple backgrounds, like multiple tangents to focus on. And India really needed a representative who can bring all of that together. And Cosmo as an organization focuses on impactful beauty, and from roots we lead. So they saw me fit in there perfectly. So that is why I was selected, is what I believe.
And I think over and above that, what I also observed is how a lot of contestants don't really think that having extracurricular activities is helpful in their pageant journey. If they just focus on their grooming, they'll make it.
Yeah.
But I keep telling them, please go to more speaking clubs and go to more dance workshops and try to have a hobby that's outside of, because pageantry, if you fit the mold, look the part, sound the part, and for your luck, if that year they are looking to align the same values you have with what the organization wants, you'll make it. But over and above that, what will help you stand out are your hobbies.
100%. And your USP. What is the one quality in you that nobody else has around in the room? That is exactly what they're looking for. And how can you channel that particular quality for everybody else to be seen? So that is what the organization really looks for. Not just Miss Diva, but any pageant organization for that matter.
Given that you've been in a few, you'd know.
And Miss Cosmo also.
Yeah. And now coming to the aspirants, the ones who will be applying, and hopefully one of them who's watching this could be your successor. Well, if they're applying for the very first time, you were also applying to Miss Diva for the very first time. What is the first thing you think they should focus on, like a tangible advice?
Focus on yourself. Don't get distracted with other energies. As in, girls there look very pretty. I'm telling you from personal experience, I don't think I was the prettiest of the lot. Girls were fabulous. They looked amazing, gorgeous. So don't get distracted by that. Focus on yourself. If you're focusing on everything else, who's focusing on you, right? That stood out for me. And don't make petty, okay, will they choose me? Is this a faithful organization? Don't have those negative thoughts or questions. Just go with giving your best at that particular shot, or being energetic in that ramp walk, or giving, or just being involved in that PI, your interview. Be in the moment, have the best hair and makeup, look your best, be your best. That is my advice. And again, don't try to be your inspiration. Be you. The judges are looking for you. They haven't met you before. So that really helps a new candidate pop out.
Yeah, that is really helpful advice, because I think we've all been in places, including auditions, where you are constantly distracted by people who are much prettier, look much better, and you start comparing yourself inevitably. And that can affect your performance subconsciously, even if you are not thinking about it.
It definitely does. Even at this point, if I go to like an international platform, I know there are going to be better bodies than me, better heights than me, but just don't get distracted. Focus on yourself.
And in the application, as you go through, you will see a lot of mandatory fields, Instagram handle being one of them. And a lot of girls who actually take sessions with me come to me for social media branding and then tell me that their account is currently private. And they say that if they eventually make it, they will make it public, and then that's going to be the route they take. Why do you think social media is playing such a huge role as in today's pageants?
To be very crisp with this, as a pageant queen, people have seen me win for one day, but they see me every day on their phones. Right? Plus, they will come to your Instagram handle for your pictures, but they'll stay for your character. And as a pageant organization, they want a person who can truly market their field, their page on Instagram handles, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, because you need to be active. People throughout the world are connected through a single screen. So how are you truly marketing? It's not about followers. You do not have to have the best followers. You just have to authentically present who you are. Speak with intent, educate, show up as you are, because that makes a profile really stand out. Like Lekh's, for example, she shows up as herself. She doesn't show up as anybody else, and I will truly vouch for that.
Yeah, that comes with a lot of trial and error, which is why the more you post, the more you fail, you realize I'm sounding like somebody else, I'm looking like somebody else, and you start going away from shedding other people's personalities and eventually come in your own. So don't expect every post, every video to be perfect, and don't think if I post a certain way, the pageant might not like me, because that's probably your style and you got to own it the way it is.
USP, find your USP.
Yeah.
Keep posting.
Okay, and the last thing I want to ask you, you were somebody who went in with pageant experience, which helped with your stage presence, which helped know what mistakes to not make, which is suggested. But if there's someone very young who's thinking Miss Diva is the first platform she wants to go to, do you still think that she has a chance?
A lot of queens have gone without experience, so that is cool. But should you be prepared and groomed? Yes. You need experience? Not really. So I would advise girls to groom yourself physically, mentally, and with how you speak. And take sessions with some of the coaches that you find on Instagram. There's Lekh here, there's India's Miss TGPC, where I got coached. There's also Coco Berry, I was coached there as well. Take coaching from that, take advices, because they truly know. They've mentored so many girls. They'll know what works best, and they've seen the platform. Apart from that, there's another thing that I'd really like to say. If judges saw only one night, one evening of you looking pretty and crowned you, that never happens. They'll see what you are off lights, off camera as well, right? That's when these mentors truly play a role. So take coaching, it's fine, and be coachable as well. As in, I am coached, I've been trained before, but I have 6 months of training much ahead of me with star mentors and people who will really help me win that first crown for India at Cosmo. So be coachable, be adaptive, unlearn and learn, because that can truly help you. The organizers and the mentors know what truly will suit you, and they'll help you channel it. And be vocal about it too. If you like something, take it. If you don't like something, probably have a discussion about it.
Yeah, it's a half and half. You know, your opinion matters just as much. Nothing is forced into something where you'd be uncomfortable in a situation. Even if it's something as a hair and makeup that you probably think doesn't suit you, you can talk about it.
I did, and that's precisely why I'm here today. They were okay with the fact that I was vocal about things, and I was very authentic through my pageant. That probably helped me stand out as well. So don't be somebody else and try to shy away. That's the biggest mistake all pageant aspirants make, because the more you are you, the more you stand out.
Well, you heard it from the winner herself. Now, all you have to do is find the link in the description, go, click, and then apply to be the first ever Miss Diva Supranational or Cosmo 2026. Avani, it was so nice to have you on board.
Likewise.
If you have any questions regarding the application process, regarding any eligibility criteria, you can put them in the comments and I will answer them for you. And I will ask Avani if I don't know anything. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.